Hello. Yeah. After the last video that I posted, painting that one and really enjoying how fast and loose that one was compared to what I have been doing for the last several years. I really want to stick to that at least for this one of just painting fast. This one took about 2 hours, give or take 2 hours. The other one took maybe four. It's a pretty basic wet on wet technique. I spent a good amount of time on the outline to get the proportions right, and so I have a good guideline of where I want to go. Um, yeah, it's mostly a lot of purples and browns to kind of start out with, and then I just fill in the midtones and the highlights, knowing that it's going to bleed through, and like the whites and the lighter colors are going to pick up the purples and the browns. It just made sense to go ahead and lay those in first. So once I did hit it with the midtones and the highlights, it's just going to pull those colors out anyway. So it just makes that process a lot easier and a lot faster. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward in the way that goes. And the photo reference that I have is a photo that I had taken of a dead fly. Then I bumped up the contrast, and so there's a lot of bleed through on colors. Like parts of the wings and parts of the legs has that kind of brownish red, burnt umber. Has a nice fade to it. So I just really wanted to kind of stick with that, and I've gotten used to if I want to paint in this manner, I tend to not wear my glasses, so I don't focus so much on details because I can't really see them anyway. So this just makes it a lot easier in that regard, where I just see I can paint what I see and can't really paint anything else other than what I see. The warning in the beginning kind of starts here. I mean, if you don't want to hear it, I guess turn the volume down if you even had the volume up anyway. So the incident that happened, it's been about a month and a half ago. Some friends that I know were at a bar, and this guy came in and starting trouble and wanted to pull a gun and kind of show how big and bad he was, and he didn't make it out alive. And the people that I know, some of them were scared and hiding up under tables and whatnot, which is understandable. Somebody has a gun, it's scary. But the following day, they come by where I work. One is visibly upset still and crying and calling her mother, and just visibly upset and calling her mother and crying and scared, obviously, from the incident that happened, and frightened that that she could have easily lost her life just as well. And there was a few gnats flying around, because it's a bar, and the beer and whatnot. We have like a electric fly swatter. It's like a, I don't know, I guess it's like a bug zapper, but it's also like a fly swatter kind of thing. And she was eager and excited to swat these gnats, which very strange to me that you were visibly frightened seconds earlier, and now you're willing to take the life of something else. Granted, it's a gnat. Some people would say a gnat is less important as a human, but I figured a life is a life, and you shouldn't want to take anything for granted. Everything has a right to live just as much as humans do, and a gnat does, and anything in between that. It was just an odd situation to see someone change from sadness to glee and the demise of something else in mere seconds of knowing that she was close to death herself. I've always had such a distaste for people who would draw or paint a celebrity after they have died. You know, it's just poor taste. Just kind of wrong to me. Kind of cash in on their death and their family's sadness. Maybe I'm a hypocrite because I'm painting this dead fly. Maybe maybe I'm just as bad as they are. But it just has a poor taste to me that you would take something like that and try to get likes from it. Someone's sadness. The reason why I wanted to call this one Salvation, because the way that this fly is on its back and one arm over its thorax and the other kind of reaching out for salvation. I feel like in those moments, I think everyone kind of reaches out for something.
I was wondering, I'm like, why the fuck is that taking forever? Yeah. I'm like, why is it forever? Because I'm putting it over a glass panel. Yeah, separate from the actual oven. Or separate from the stove top. Glass panel to protect it so there's not dust. Like, we were in the kitchen, we got glass all over. Yeah, we turned it off. Yeah, and it was all over the kitchen. We had to clean it up. It's bad. But we'd already left the kitchen by that time. We don't have a fix it for her. I have to replace it. I had to replace everything for my grandma. Everything at first. I had to replace the whole thing. I didn't want her to find out, right? But sometimes she found out and she called me. She's like, what happened? I'm like, look, grandma, I already tried to hide it. Yeah, I tried to hide it. I don't want to tell her that. She was going to come out of her home. Like, go to her oven. Like, she's like, when did I get a new oven?